All right, how's it going, everyone? Spencer with CFSM Media here, giving you another episode of the Censorship Report. In this episode, we interview Elijah Schaffer. As per the Censorship Report, we talk about topics that are verboten on YouTube and the other big tech platforms that censor free speech, especially those of conservatives. So, that being said, great interview. Ran into him at America Fest and took the opportunity to do an interview. Give a little bit of a background on how me and Elijah met at previous events. But again, thanks to Elijah. Awesome interview, my friend. Keep up the good work over on your side of house there at BlazeTV, and I look forward to more of your content. It's always entertaining. But let's roll the clip. All right, how's it going, everyone? This is Spencer with CFSM Media, bringing you our show, The Censorship Report. Now, it's actually funny. I remember when we first met, you asked me, do you have a show? Because I was right outside filming the Trump rally and everything. And you know what? With today's society and everything, it seemed like the most appropriate name for a show. So, on that note, you guys are almost banned off YouTube again. So, tell me a little bit about that. I'm trying to catch up to that level, but...
Well, the problem is that the truth can't be spoken online anymore in a way that is simple and straightforward. Like, the truth has been banned, legitimately. I mean, and you have governments creating ministries of truth, right? They're calling them different things, like misinformation operation, and they have all these fancy words for their censorship. And they go, well, we're not censoring, but we are censoring. And then they tell you, well, you can say the truth, but you just can't say it in a way that makes sense to most people. So basically, it's, I read the box of masks, paper masks, that warn you on their uses of what they can be used for and what they can't be used for. This is medically approved. This is understood and backed. By the way, I reached out to the Department of Health, and they agreed with what I said. I just read a true factual statement. End up getting, basically almost banned off of YouTube entirely, getting 2 strikes for the same comment, which is against their own policy. And then what's crazy is at the end of all of this, YouTube said, I showed YouTube the evidence. YouTube goes, cool, we'll take off one of your strikes. We're going to reinstate the video, but we're going to leave one of the strikes. And I'm going, well, if I'm right and you're wrong, why are you going to leave the consequence? Why are you going to leave the problem? Like, why are you going to leave it up? And the truth of the matter is like, that's the point. They're trying to send a warning to you of saying, look, even if you're telling the truth and you get away with it, we're still going to find a way to give you pain, to take away your money, and to hurt your reputation, because we don't want you telling the truth on our platforms.
It's definitely the scene out of 1984, what's going on right now. And now, Elijah, tell me a little bit about your shows that you do on BlazeTV.
Well, I have one show called Slightly Offensive. It's kind of evolved over the years, to be completely honest. It started out with like trolling people a little bit, then it got into like hardcore journalism, and now we're supposed to be like laughing at dumb people, like, which there's not a short supply of that. It's evolved because we've had to evolve. Did you know this? Over the years, like, it's been such a weird up and down. Like, the world has not been the same over the last 3 years. How could a show be the same over the last 3 years?
Now, what do you identify as now? I think it was like a gay, black, lesbian prior. Now, what is the identification this time around?
Legally speaking, I've just went to very basic to non-binary. I actually legally became non-binary, so I've gotten rid of my gender because I want to really represent the queer community. It's one of my number one things. I'm against 3 things and 4 things. That's like, number 1, I'm really against cyberbullying. I hate making fun of people on the internet. Everybody knows that. Yeah. Number 2, I'm extremely against edgy humor and like racist jokes and stuff like that. So bad. And 3, everyone knows I'm the biggest supporter of the queer community, and that I only make content that shows who they really are.
So speaking of edgy humor, that was quite the roast the other day with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, he got me good. I gotta admit, 4 doors, more whores, and I felt like a slut. I felt dirty. I felt like he got me. He did.
So you told me off camera this. Is there a potential for round 2 of this?
Yes, we're making more content together. Yeah. We are. I just had to wait because he's got some things he's going to be announcing here at this conference that I can't do too much crazy stuff with him because he's got to keep his credibility there for sure. But no, dude, off camera, he roasts the shit out of me, and I'm like pretty surprised. He should work in media.
Yeah. I don't see why not. I mean, lawyer plus journalist, good combination. Now, tell me a little bit about the events that you've covered in the past. What would you say is the most memorable, either protest or riot that you've filmed? I'll add rally in there as well.
There's been a lot of interesting ones. like some of them are like more personal memories. Obviously, like Kenosha, being with the Rittenhouse shootings and seeing those, firsthand. I think being inside the Capitol during the riot on the 6th, and some of those other sides of those events obviously are more legally memorable. But I think overall, like, some of the things that I remember the most is just how ugly everybody are at the left-wing riots and protests, and just remembering the silly characters and just how, like, the fat, ugly, blue-haired people that were out there and smelled like BO and disgusting. And I'll just never forget those people, because they helped launch my career, and out of the ugliness of their heart and the ugliness of their bodies, they created something beautiful.
Definitely. I know, like, covering the events out here, I mean, you kind of have to go incognito to those events if you're filming. If they see a big camera like that, they're going to come after you. And I remember I think it was the George Floyd riots out here during the day. I was threatened by Antifa. I mean, I've seen on your channel, you guys get threatened all the time. So.
And beat up and assaulted and just the whole thing. I mean, almost lost my life a few times, and it's I've got a lot of lasting. I just finished my last surgery to like get the nerve damage repaired in my face, and just been taking quite a bit of crap from people. But I'm alive. That's all I want people to know is, like, if they're intimidating, they can hurt you, but for the most part, you got to push back, and they've learned that we push back.
Definitely. And is there any like final thing you want to give to my viewers? Any words of wisdom? Anything from your experience?
Yeah, I think. Always be evolving. Like, always ask yourself what the times need. Like things have been really dark recently, so I've tried to push things towards laughter, because it's been so depressing for so many people. Right? When the ideas of was that the media was really lying, like at the onset of the pandemic and the peaceful BLM protests, what was needed was expose, like hard-working journalism to show people the real story. Before that, when nobody was covering the movements growing, it was just going out there and showing people the reality of who these people were in these social movements, so they could see the smoke through the smoke screen. So it's like, don't try to do what you saw someone do. Don't try to do what you're doing now. Always ask yourself, how have the times changed? How should I change? Because our goal is whether you do content or anything, our goal is to reach people. It's to impact the world. And as people change, we need to make sure that change in us isn't selfish, but it's to be able to reach maximum amount of impact.
That's a good words to live by. Again, Elijah Schaffer, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, BlazeTV, check him out. Shout out your channel some more time.
You can follow Slightly Offensive, or You Are Here, or you can find me at blazetv.com/Elijah.
And then your social media handles.
So you can find me on Slightly Offensive or Elijah Schaffer pretty much everywhere.
Okay, perfect. Oh, thank you again, sir.
Thank you.